So the shipment's in, we got a lot of great colors on deck, so anything that we've been out of that you've been looking for, now is the time to pick it up before it sells out, because they do sell out. But I got something special. Let's get started. Anyway, so I found something pretty interesting. Some flame blue transparent black. We've never even had this. Never had it in the States ever before. I'm sure some European guys were like, yeah, we had that like 5 years ago, Americans. You're so stupid, you're so behind the times. Maybe you're right. Maybe we're full of cholesterol and sodium, and maybe we don't rank as high on education as we should for an industrialized country. Maybe, just maybe, we have a corrupt campaign finance system. Maybe we do. But take this, Europe. Who gave you graffiti? Who gave you hip hop? Who? America, that's who. I love you guys, thank you. Thank you for keeping the torch alive. But let's talk a little bit about this. We have some transparent black, so I want to see what it's all about. I just want to see. Also, this one thing I'm very excited about. We got the double asterisk cans. Now we've had them mixed in with our shipments before, but supposedly this is all double asterisk cans. What is a double asterisk can? Good question. Supposedly it's an updated formula. So I'm gonna test these yellows out on this nasty grilled board, and we're gonna see which one covers the best. All right guys, so what I'm gonna do first is just hit up the name of each of these colors, and then I'll speed paint through a fill-in so you can see how they look, how they paint, and then afterwards I'll do a quick little breakdown review of what I think of each of the three. Then we'll lay down some transparent black, then we'll call it a video. And that's it. So let's get started. So first I'm gonna do a zinc yellow. Now zinc yellows are usually very watery. That laid down very, very nice. And I'm using the stock tip, by the way, the stock tip. Cadmium, not cadmium. Cadmium. Now zinc yellow and cadmium yellow are usually very watery, like they usually don't cover at all. But these are laying down very nicely already. I'm very impressed with them. All right, so let's try the signal yellow. Very similar to the cadmium, I'd say. Maybe a little bit more orange. I'd say it's just slightly more orange than the cadmium. But I think the cadmium looks a little bit thicker. But it's hard to tell with just a tag. So why don't we do this? Let's set up the GoPro. I'll speed paint a 3-letter, straight letter or something like that, from left to right, just as you saw it. Zinc, cadmium, signal. Each color will be the fill for each letter, and we'll see what looks good over this grilled surface. That's actually a stock tip off of a flame blue can, but it was marred in the process. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe the cap manufacturer had a blemish or something. I don't know what it is, but look, the stem slot got cut really wide and it just made this buttery huge flare. Now, it's not my favorite stock tip on the flame blue. It's okay. It's just a little bit too slow for me. I like a faster cap, but I can see why they use this on the flame blue, because it gives people with less experience a feeling of confidence and a little bit more control over what they're doing. And I think that's really important when you want to get people into the spray arts, because it can be very daunting for a beginner. You know, there's people who have the sickest black books, but you give them a can and they don't know what to do. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. So it's really important to create something that gives people a step ahead. And if you're even better than that already, this gives you even more maximum control. So I get it. But still, not my favorite stock tip. But that, interesting. Also, another thing I noticed is I did a couple quick cutbacks just to see how it would look. Not that I need them, of course, but I tried it out just to see how it laid down, and there was almost no overspray. And that's amazing for a yellow. And also it made like a nice, hard, clean line. It wasn't like this watery cutback that you get with some lesser yellows, if you will. So that's very heartening. I'm very happy to see that. And that was with all of them. I think you'd be happily served with any of these cans, for sure. So anyways, why don't we do this? Why don't we check out the transparent black and see what that's all about? Now for this wall, what we're gonna do is do some little 3D shadow overlaps, or mini 3Ds, or whatever you want to call them. And so like, for example, right here, you see this, where this part of the R kind of overlaps over here? You could add a little bit of shadow to that, gives it a little bit more depth, makes it look a little bit cooler, and I'll show you right now. That's all you need. What's up? Anyways, let's take a look at this. The transparent black lays over the overlap and just gives it that little bit of a and sometimes you really need that You know what I'm saying? Because what is graffiti besides a big buff with an outline, big letters? It's also standing out from the crowd, and sometimes you need special tools to do that. With this transparent black, you're able to create a nice little soft overlay. And I will say this, I actually like this better than the Molotov transparent black, because I think the Molotov transparent black is just a little bit too thin. This just takes a couple little and you get a perfect fade on it. The Molotov, well, maybe if I was doing photoreal work, I would like the Molotov better. But for piecing, rock the flame one. All right, you know what? I can't leave you guys hanging, because I know you guys are gonna ask ton of questions in the comments about this cap thing. So let's just get it out right now so you guys can see what it's all about, how it flows, and how it goes. That's right, guys. These are just stock flame blue cans with one that happened to have a, well, unintended cap stem modification on it. So that's basically what we have. I took another one and cut it down a little bit smaller. So we have the unintended one cut around 2 millimeters, and I cut another one at around 1 millimeter. That way we can compare the two and see what difference it makes when you cut the stem from the cap. This is the stock tip. It's like a soft medium spray. It does pretty good. It's a little on the slow side for me when I'm trying to piece, but I understand why they used it. For people learning how to paint, this gives you a lot of confidence, makes a lot of sense. Bravo flame, 1 millimeter stem cut. Okay, you guys ready for this? You guys ready for this? Okay, let's go. It's very soft, it's very big, and very, very flowy. All right, let's try the 2 millimeter. Now, for you photography nerds, this is perspective happening. It still looks bigger even though it's further away than these ones. You feel me? We're using a wide angle lens here. In fact, let's change our perspective. Remember, you can never truly change your perspective to something unless you change your relative position to the thing that you're trying to understand. Photography 101. Now check this out. Look at that. 2 millimeter cut, 1 millimeter cut, stock tip, all in one cap. You only need one cap for your flame can. Well, actually, if you need to fill in, I would recommend getting something that puts out more paint. But amazing, amazing capabilities from one can. So many flavors. Speaking of flavor, let's do some hit-offs. We're gonna hit up Based, the homie Based. Now it's a little bit windy right now, so I'm losing a little bit of the flow, but still it's like a beautiful soft fat cap. I'd say it's probably like maybe a little bit fatter than a level 3. A little bit fatter than a level 3, but soft, like really, really soft. It's very buttery. I really enjoy using it. I think you guys will like the bigger stem cut more, but I like the flow of this one. It flows really, really nice. It really does. Look at that. It's beautiful. All right, guys, let's go ahead and rock this 2 millimeter stem mod. And we're gonna be hitting up the homie Cubic like Rubik's Cube, I guess. Something like that. 2mm stem. Very fat. Don't clog on me, bro. Don't clog on me. Buttery. Buttery. Really buttery. Let's hit up Soma. I feel like I've already hit up Soma, but we're gonna do it again anyways. So you get a double hit off Soma. Somebody already writes Soma. That's no joke. That is way over 5 fingers. Way over 5 fingers. And you know what's sick is this comes out so soft that it's not going to burn out your can real quickly. You know what I mean? So you can get a lot of tags out of it. And you know, generally when you're doing tags, you want it to be soft because you get that nice buttery flair. You don't want it coming out super thick. Well, I guess it depends on your style. Style is relative. It's completely relative. But I will say this: if you want to conserve your paint and you want to get those fat flares, do the mod. It works great. But anyways, why don't we go ahead and go out to the actual closeout, because rumor has it there's a really neat package in my office waiting to be opened. And 2, we got to say what's up to Eider. All right, guys, before I get into this closeout, I just want to give a shout out to Eider. He created a really great unboxing video for you guys to see. I'll put a link down below for you guys. And I do have to apologize. I said he was from New York.
Our GR reviews, yeah, because he reviews things. Stay up, that's what's up, that's what's up. And we got Eider, my name. He put NYC, which I'm from Jersey City. We're 3 minutes away from New York, but I don't want to perpetrate a fraud. So if anybody sees this from New York, you know damn well I'm proud of Jersey City, baby. Word. As you can see, look at the art that we produce here.
But I know that is fighting words for some people. Jersey people are proud. New York people are proud. Don't get the two mixed up. All right, guys, so there you go. The double asterisk cans definitely have been improved. I wish I had some of the older ones to compare them to, but unfortunately we don't have any of those in stock anymore. But just from my experience alone in using these cans, I can see a huge difference in the flow, the coverage, the way it lays down. Molotov should be proud of this, but they don't tell us these things. And it's not just Molotov. Montana does it too. All the brands do it. They slowly upgrade their paints with each new shipment. There's always new updates to it. So whatever you thought of a paint 5 years ago is completely out of date. Completely out of date. I still hear that from people with other paint brands. Like, oh, this paint used to fade. They don't ever tell us when they update stuff, but they do. And then I hear it third hand through someone else. And it's kind of frustrating because I've worked in a lot of different fields over my life. And like, for example, I was really big in the digital photography world and the camera world before I came to ArtPrimo. And I worked with Nikon, I worked with Canon, I worked with all these companies, and they provided me with a substantial amount of support system. Promo, you know, like Canon shirts, Nikon keychains, you know, like all this stuff. I hardly get, and it's like pulling teeth trying to get it from these paint companies. You think I'd get some flame shirts, right? You know, like, yo, I'm gonna rep your paint, give me a shirt. That's what skateboarding companies do. And I keep saying graffiti should be like skateboarding, but everyone is so myopic and they don't see the potential. Meanwhile, street artists keep taking your walls. That's a whole nother story. Don't blame the street artists, blame your culture. I just want you guys to be better, okay? I just want you guys to be better. That's all I want. Here's what I think it boils down to. I don't think the Europeans understand the American consumer. I don't think they do. I do. They want to know the deets. They want to understand. It's like, it goes back to like car culture. It goes back to all this stuff, you know? It's like, oh, my Chevy's got this many cubic inches. Whoa, my Ford, it's got this much torque. And, you know, it goes back to all that kind of stuff. And that's how Americans are. You know, it's the eternal pissing match. What is graffiti? The eternal pissing match. You know what I mean? So, anyways, with that out of the way, I will say they have definitely improved the formula. I'm very happy with it. Blessings to you, Molotov, Flame Grease. Shout out to those guys for giving us this, because this is something I can be very proud of. Very, very proud of. Anyways, let's see what Zero System sent to me. Look at that. Sounds like something interesting. What's inside, guys? What do you think's inside? What do you think's in there? You guys ready for this? Oh, it's just a piece of paper and some packing material. Oh, nothing exciting, I guess. let's just give you the quick rundown. So he says, "Yo, GR, I hope all is well on the West Coast. I'm a huge fan of the content you put out. Super inspiring and all around." Wow, thank you. I really appreciate that. So inspiring, in fact, that you inspired my first custom painted Gunpla. I present to you the RGM 86R GM3 Green Ranger variant. When I sat down last summer to paint, I figured what better namesake than to give it to one of my favorite painters / artists. Wow, thank you, homie. That's really dope. I have it on my desk for a couple months now, and I think it's time to give it to a new home. Dude, that's really dope, man. I really appreciate that. Where's the head? I think this is it. Yep, the little guy right there. There we go. Okay, I'm going to do my best to show it to you guys. All right, guys, there's the head right there. Hopefully it's in focus. You know what? I just couldn't wait. I wanted to put it together, and I'm sure you guys wanted to see it too. It's pretty amazing. Unfortunately, I can't put the weapon in his hand because it broke during the shipping, so I had to glue it back on. Good stuff. The thumb. But it's holding up pretty nicely. It's pretty. It's an amazing piece of craftsmanship right here. I'm very impressed. He's doing all kinds of creative stuff. He even has a record label called Fantasy Deluxe, which I've featured in previous videos. He's just getting down. He's getting down. And I gotta say, thank you very much, homie. I really appreciate this. This is quite an honor and will definitely go on the shelf for future videos. Wow, it's so cool. Thank you very much. Anyways, remember guys, this is ArtPrimo.com, 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 ArtPrimo.com. Your #1 source for all things, everything. Whatever you need, we got it. All right guys, peace.